Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means share it with somebody who might get some out of it. Guys, forgive me, I'm still a little dirty even after washing up. I went and removed the old boiler from the boiler job I did yesterday, and the thing was so heavy. I didn't have help, so I cut the thing into pieces and carried it out of the basement, and that was just a dirty, dirty mess. And, this has been one of the best weeks I've had, hardest working weeks I've had in a long time. But guys, the more I buy into this recovery, the more I work these spiritual principles every day, the better I get, and then the better the opportunities that present themselves in my life. It is an absolute progression. There's an order to all of this, and that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. We're going to go with the Just for Today NA meditation reading, which is titled Order. Order. We emphasize setting our house in order because it brings relief. Focusing on what others are doing can provide momentary relief from having to take a look at ourselves. But one of the secrets of success in recovery is making sure our own house is in order. So what does getting our house in order mean? Well, it means we work our program, allowing us to look at our role in relationships with others. When we have a problem with somebody, we can take our own inventory to find out what our part in the problem has been. With the help of spiritual principles, we strive to set it right. Then each day we continue taking our inventory to avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. It's pretty simple. We treat others as we would like to be treated, as we'd like others treat us. We promptly make amends when we owe them, and when we turn our lives over to the care of our higher power on a daily basis, we can start to avoid running on the self-will so characteristic of our active addiction. Guided by a power that seeks the best for everybody, our relationships with others will surely improve. And the affirmation is, just for today, I will set my own house in order. Today I will examine my part in the problems in my life. If I owe amends, I will make them. Guys, that's one of the things that I preach constantly. Typically when we're, at least I found for myself, I don't like to call anybody else out, but it's why I use myself as an example. Typically in the past, when I was feeling low about myself, when I was particularly feeling vulnerable for something that I had done that I knew was terrible, I would always want to point out the mistakes of somebody else. And I've seen so many other people do it. It's amazing how quickly I can see that for what it is today, deflecting. Because I didn't, to try and straighten out my own life just seemed way too overwhelming at the time. And again, I needed to find the power in surrender, and I have. Guys, I've been saying it day in and day out, but it continues to get better and better. I absolutely love my life today. I love the responsibilities that I'm giving. I love the opportunities that I'm being given. I love the work that I do. I love the person that I'm becoming, and that's one of the biggest gifts I've been given. Was my relationship with myself has been repaired. I didn't know who I was, and I hated who I was being. I hated my life because I didn't like me. And that's one of the reasons I constantly found myself back in addiction, was because I had to medicate myself to avoid looking at what I was doing, where I was stuck. Because of my actions, I was constantly forced to accept a set of circumstances that just weren't in alignment with who I am. But it's because I continued to not pay attention to what mattered, not think that I had to follow any rule, any law. I thought that I could rob, cheat, and steal as long as I was going to work every day. But no, I wasn't. Even when I was working harder than anybody else, I was doing it high as a kite, which is just plain dangerous. That's the biggest thing I see today. When I look back and I understand what I was doing on a daily basis, the work that I do is, I work with gas pipe. I work with, electrical. I mean, I could have easily been responsible for people being hurt, for properties being damaged. And I'm very fortunate. I see now that God was protecting me, because it was by no action of my own that I didn't cause damage. And so many times I was caught by the skin of my teeth where I messed something up because I was too high to understand that I wasn't doing something properly, and I'd damage this, or I'd overlook this, or I'd catch, and even then I was better than, a lot, but that's me deflecting right there. I look back at it now and I'm shocked that I was as fortunate as I was not to have hurt somebody, not to cause any major damage, not to have gotten any car accidents where I hurt anybody when I was out getting high at the wheel and passing out and falling asleep at red lights. And guys, that's not the person I am today. And the thing of it is, right, if I sat there and just dwelled on that, that would bother me, right? But I've let that go because God has forgiven me. Because once you speak about it in prayer and once you make amends wherever amends are appropriate, and I have in every situation that I can. The boiler job that I just finished yesterday, I got paid for it today. Guys, it was beautiful. Like that's one of the biggest checks I've ever put in the bank, or at least yeah, one of the biggest single job checks I've ever put in the bank. And that's the customer whose tenant I had taken money from to move oil and then ended up in rehab and didn't do the job and could have got arrested over it, could have ruined that relationship. When I had the opportunity, I made amends and I moved all the oil. I ended up moving double it for the same price they had already paid me. And it was a big job, and they know I went way over and above, but I was appreciative of the fact they were giving me the opportunity to do so, right? I didn't go in there begrudgingly. I went in there and thanked them, apologized, let them know that I had had a problem, that I was doing better now. I appreciate it. Gave them the option of how they wanted to handle it, and then whatever they want to, I did it to the absolute best. I did the most over and above that I possibly could, and because I did that, months go by. The gentleman is a son of another customer of mine, and they've just been paying attention and watching. And then here it is. Now they've seen that at 9 months in, I've been doing more and more work and better work and looking healthier and being more bought into the program and just being the best version of me that I possibly can. And not to any perfect level, because as good as I think I am now, I've seen over the progression. Like, I thought I was great 6 months ago. I'm so much better off now than I was 6 months ago, and I know 6 months from now I'll be twice as good as I am now, which is amazing. And it's not because of me, it's because of my higher power, and it's because I turn things over. I surrender, and I'm teachable today. I'm willing to learn. I don't think I have all the answers. I know I've got a long way to go, but I'm on the fast track to getting there. And because I do these things, that gentleman's now calling me and offering me all his work. When a water heater let go a couple weeks back, he asked me to come in and do that, and I did that, and we started talking, and he's like, while you're there, look at this job, see what it would take. Could we convert get rid of the oil and convert that and put a new gas boiler in? Yeah, of course we can. So a week later, he had me give him a price, and then we looked at a couple of different setups for the boiler. I found one he was happy with. He invited me to do the job. My helper called in. Guys, I basically did the entire job myself in a day and a half, and it went beautifully. The guy met him today to show him my work. I got the other heating system in the house running for them because he's going away for a week and it's getting cold. And I did a little bit extra work on top of it, but he paid me my full price with appreciation, big smile on his face, looking forward to working with me again. And that's what I get left and right. I went and did another small job. I did a lot of small jobs after that today. I was planning on taking the rest of the day off because I was pretty exhausted from that job. But work keeps coming in, and I'm not going to turn it down because it's during the day, and because I took on a job I wasn't going to do, because it was coming over and touch up a little paint. I'm not a painter, but it's a regular customer, and I know the house is on the market. So I said, you know what, Josh, no problem. I'll come by and do it. And lo and behold, because I decided to make a sacrifice and help somebody out, even though I'm not going to really benefit from it because it's only throwing me like $50, it's not worth my time at that point. Not that anyway. I pulled up in front of the house, and I'm starting to get out, and a woman pulled up in her car and said, oh, what are you doing, some work here? And started telling me she knew the old owner, and the house was such a mess, and she'd asked me what work I'd done there, and I showed her the work that I'd done, and she was very impressed, and she took my card, and now I'm going to give her an estimate on a bunch of work at her place on Saturday for some really good paying jobs. Guys, when you work these spiritual principles, when you go over and above, when you do things and you don't think anything is beneath you and you just do the best, like it's those little things, those little small sacrifices that you make that you think are insignificant and maybe a pain in your ass, but you do it because that's the mentality you want to have, and you want to be helpful, and you want to do things the best, and you want to help people out. So those little things that you think are just going to be a nuisance and not worth your time, that something huge comes out of. Like, this is a new customer I'm going to do all her work now, and then she's going to pass me on to other homeowners here in Somerville. Like, I'm building a reputation, and I have the beginning stages of building an empire today, and it's all because I take the time to put my house in order. And that's something I never did, guys. Oh my God, I was the furthest thing from it. And the reason I get on here and share these videos every day, guys, because if I can do this, anybody can. I was one of the most lost sheeps out there. I was in despair. And beyond that, I was ignorant of any, like, because of the totality of everything I've been through my whole life, because of all the mistakes that I've made, because of all the things I put in front of me, I was convinced that there was no possible way I could ever get over these things. And I mean, guys, I don't say it because I think it makes me sound cool or anything else. I did a lot of really dumb things for a really, really long time, and I used the excuses of the other dumb things I did to continue doing the same dumb things. And as we all know, as you go through that progression, the repercussions of these things get to be bigger and bigger. I have a record that is just like literally everybody that's without it across the board, everybody that meets me and then sees my record is shocked that we're one and the same. The duality that comes from this disease when you're out there for as long as I was. I mean, I've been in one form of active addiction or alcoholism from the time I was 14, 15 years old, really kind of before that. And I've only been clean for the last 9 months. I'm 52 years old now, guys. That's a long time, 35 plus years. A lot of things happened in those 35 years. I've been sentenced to jail or prison 15, 16 times, homeless for 4 years. I don't like saying because it sounds terrible, but the only reason I share these things, I want anybody listening to understand that no matter what you've been through, that does not dictate what happens tomorrow. What you do today dictates what happens next. You can let that all go. You can literally change everything about you. I'm living proof, guys. I've done it. This is not the person that I was. The person that I was couldn't hold any of the responsibilities that I'm holding today. And I know because I had the same opportunities 10 years ago with mostly the same people, but I didn't hold it right because I wasn't ready to yet. I hadn't surrendered. I don't have myself the power to do what I'm doing in my life. I don't. I readily admit that. I'm not capable of doing the things that are happening in my life. These are direct gifts from God, my higher power. And that's the thing, guys. What I've done is I've learned to get on my knees and pray. I've learned to meditate. I've learned to pay attention to what I'm doing, how I'm acting, how I speak to myself. And the thing is, guys, you can't just do those things. You've got to change the behaviors as well. Like the first thing I did was change behaviors. I understood that anything I did in the past was okay. I'll let it go. I'm not going to drag it with me. I'm not going to let it hold me back. But I won't continue to repeat them. And the thing is, guys, the things I was doing to get my house in order in the first month or two of sobriety were great, and they laid the path for everything else I've done. But the difference is, every time I did one, I would continue to do that, and then I would let that be my new baseline, and then I would, because again, I would take a daily personal inventory. And when you do, guys, so many people get stuck on one thing, and they get to that next level, and they think, okay, that's it, I made it through that, and they stop paying attention. And they go back to all the other things that are holding you back. That's the only thing that is exceptional about me, is the fact that I continue to do the work. It's not me. It's just me continuing to pay attention to what God is showing me. So when I take a personal inventory, continuous personal inventory every day, as I improve in one area, that starts to make obvious other areas that don't feel as aligned as good as that one does now. Because I fix this problem, so like when I focus on that feels great. And then I look at the other areas that don't feel as good, and I stop and I think about it and say, okay, well, what can I do differently? And it's amazing, guys, and every single time the answer has been something I'm doing or something I can do to do it better, just to be a better person, to look at how I'm affecting somebody else. But it's been my actions across the board, but it's been my consideration of others that have given me so much. It's been amazing to me how many people are willing to overlook or forgive the things that I've done in the past because they've seen. And again, I didn't show up asking forgiveness. No, I just showed up showing them what I'm doing today, and just not expecting anything from it, but doing everything because I'm doing it. Everything I do is for myself and for my higher power. And that's why I tell you, focus on those things. Because, guys, if you sit there and you're trying to do it to get something, a specific outcome from anything other than yourself, your higher power, you're going to do that at the ignorance of so many other things. But when you just do it because it's the right thing to do, and it makes you feel good about who you are, and it makes your higher power proud of you, you believe it's something that will make your higher power proud, everybody else that you never considered, you never know what somebody else holds, what somebody else is looking at, who somebody else may know, or who's seeing what you did, or who somebody else may tell something good. And that's the difference today. Every time my name comes up in a conversation, I mean, other than people that are jealous and they're haters, but I don't worry about them. And that's the thing, guys. If I don't give them my energy, they can't touch me. That's the beauty of it. But everybody that sees what I'm doing, here's the beautiful work that I'm doing. Here's how fair I treat them when I write a bill, how I go over and above when I do the work. They share that with somebody else because they're like, hey, look how this worked out. I'm that person. Oh, let me see. And then they give me an opportunity, guys. Like everything that's coming to me is from outside of me, but it's coming to me because I've fixed inside of me. If that makes any sense, I hope it does because it's powerful, guys. I love my life in a way that I never thought possible. I love the person that I'm becoming, and that's never mind the money, never mind the money in the bank and the opportunities. It's the fact that I wake up every day looking forward to my day. Like I don't do anything begrudgingly anymore. And when it's hard, I know the benefits are going to come from it. And the thing is, I don't focus on it being hard. I focus on the fact that I said I'm going to do this. What do I got to do to make this go right? I put my energy in everything positive today. I let go of anything negative. I understand that, yeah, there's going to be an ebb and flow. There's going to be some things that don't go as well as others, but I do everything to the best of my ability. And I just give it all I have with the most upbeat, appreciative. I focus on the positive and everything. The more you do that, guys, when you do that day in and day out, even when something bad happens, you're going to find the good in it. Guys, I get pulled over, I get a parking ticket, things like that happen. I immediately see where a behavior of mine set that into motion, and then I understand that I got caught because I'm in alignment for it. Because otherwise, I'll continue to make that mistake and I'll start going down a wrong path. Like I can literally see the beauty in getting a ticket or getting anything bad, because I'm focused on everything. So anything, and that's the thing, guys. I'm held accountable by my higher power to a level that I never thought possible. And you know what? I don't feel picked on because of it. I feel seen and loved because I know that's my higher power looking out for me to make sure I don't continue to repeat a mistake. Because I continue to ask for that guidance every day in my prayers. And I continue to take action on the intuitive answers I get in my meditations. Guys, I'm unstoppable right now because God is leading the way. And I love that statement. I think I'm going to leave the video with that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. The channel has gotten so many more views, so much more attention this week. It means, like, literally, guys, I was looking at the metrics, almost brought me to tears. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you so very much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.